Okay, so here is an assignment I just gave you. 5 problems to rotate and try. If you haven't seen these and want to try them, go ahead and pause the video, try them now, and then you can see what answers you should have gotten. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is the key. Now, fair warning on this, I made this key really fast and didn't work them out fully because I am going to take the time to do that on video. But I'm pretty sure they're right. If you see one that's not, that you didn't get the same thing, then you want to skip forward in the video to find that one, especially if you're fairly confident that you did most of them right and it's just one of them. It's possible that later in this video I'm going to say, oh, guess what? I wasn't paying attention there and I don't know, went 180 instead of 90 or something. So with that disclaimer, here are the answers that I'm going to say at this point you should have gotten. For Q, Q prime gives you 1, 7, or is at 1, 7. R prime is at -2, -3. S prime is at 5, -4. T prime is at -5, 4. And V prime is at -6, -1. Okay, so let me go ahead and start doing those. If you got all of these wrong, or maybe didn't do them all because you were so unsure of yourself on the first one, then just watch the key for the first one and then try the second one and see if you do any better with it. And then watch the key for the second one and so on. So you can pause this video. I really like my students to use my videos very interactively. Watch as much or as little as you need, pause it when you need to, that kind of thing. There are some that I tell you to watch the whole thing, but a lot of times it's watch what you need. If you know how to do it and you're doing it consistently correctly, then fine, you're done. All right. So we've got the point 3, -7. Actually, I think they're the better. Nope, not really better. But that's okay. The point 3, -7 is where Q is located. Or we're calling that point Q. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to take point Q and I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees about the point 2, 0. So this is my center of rotation. So first things first, I'm going to figure out where is Q with respect to this point. Well, it's 1 to the right of that point and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. So Q is currently 1 to the right and 7 down. Okay. Now I need to know how far am I supposed to rotate this. I'm supposed to rotate this 180 degrees. So I have to figure out what's 180 degrees from right and what's 180 degrees from down. If you need to, it could help to draw something like this. You could use compass headings instead of this if you'd like. I used to teach it that way, where instead of saying 1 right and 7 down, I'd say that's 1 east and 7 south, and then think about directions that way as well. But right now we're talking up, down, left, and right. So 180 degrees from right is halfway around the circle. That's at left. 180 degrees from down, halfway around the circle, that's at up. So I'm going to go 1 left and 7 up to find my image point. This is the pre-image. The image is the result. So 1 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is my image, Q prime, and it's located at 1, 7. So that's why I get 1, 7 for my answer for Q prime. All right, let's do another one on this same grid. Actually, I'm sorry, before we do that, I want to show you, when I do it, I don't generally do this. This is something I do this for my students for whom this helps them, okay? To me, I do it entirely visually, or I like to do it entirely visually. And that is, I think of it as, okay, I'm coming over and down to get to this. Okay, so when I'm picturing what's happening here, this is what's going through my head as I move around. If I'm going to go 90, this little guy here becomes, let's see if I can do this, becomes this. Not very straight. There we go. And if I'm doing 180, it keeps going around and it looks like this. And if I were doing 270, it keeps going around and looks like this. A little straighter than that, hopefully, but that's the basic idea. So I picture how would this shape move if I rotate 180. Another way to think about this shape moving 180, excuse me, is think about spinning your paper around that point. It's going to be to the left and up instead of to the right and down. So I need to go to the left and up just the same distance that I went to the right and down. So instead of going to the right 1, I go to the left 1. Instead of going down 7, I go up 7. So that's what gets me there. All right, next we have the point R, which is at -4, 1, and it's rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise about the point -1, 0. If you haven't done that one yet and want to pause the video and try it, now is the time to do that. Okay, so R is at -4, 2, 3, 4, 1. Here's R. And the center of rotation here is -1, 0. So I'm going around this point here. Okay, and I'm supposed to be going 90 degrees, and it doesn't specify which way, so that means counterclockwise. So that means, and this could help you, this is another little thing that could help you, is to think, okay, so this means I'm going like this. So that means if I think of this as my sort of L shape that comes, this is 3 to the left and up 1, my L is going to come down here and be 3 down and 1 to the left. So that's how I think through where it needs to go. So that would be ending up at -2, -3. So hopefully that's what I put on the key, because the key is on the back of the sheet. No, there it is. Okay. So -2, -3 is where our prime will be, and that's correct. Okay, if we wanted to do it the way we did over here for Q, I say, how would I get to R from my center? Well, I'd go left 3 and up 1. So 3 left and 1 up. And then I think about rotating the word left and the word up, basically, 90 degrees. So 90 degrees from left is down. So this becomes down. 90 degrees from up is left. So this becomes left. So I'm going to go 3 down and 1 left, which is exactly how I got to my result, which is the image point R prime, or -2, -3. So there's Q and R. If you haven't tried it yet, you might want to try number 3. It was to rotate the point 2, 3, 270 degrees counterclockwise about the center 0, -2. So then you could pause right here and try that one, and then come back and I'll show you the key. Or show you the work, really. So here we are. I'll show you the work. I already showed you the key. So this point that I'm rotating is 2, 3, and we're calling it S. And it's going 270 about the point 0, -2. The point 0, -2 is right here. So I need to figure out where S is with respect to 0, -2. Well, it's 2 to the right and up 5. So currently S is 2 to the right and up 5. 2 right and 5 up. Now I'm supposed to be rotating this 270. So when I see this, what I'm thinking in my mind, here's how I'm picturing that. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be rotated, and you can ignore this part over here, that's from a previous problem. It's going to be rotated 90, 180, 270. This is what it's going to do from 270. Sorry, that's in there. Pretend that's not there. It's just my thumb, I promise. Okay, so instead of going 2 to the right and 5 up, we're going to be going 2 down and 5 to the right. So it's going to be right over here. Okay, let's look at the word way to get that, basically. Remember, we're thinking up, down, left, right. So if I'm going 270 from right, that's 90, 180, 270. So this becomes down. 270 from up, start here, 90, 180, 270. This becomes right. So I'm going to go 2 down and 5 right, which is exactly what happened here. And here is my image, S. So it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 4. Okay. Next point is T. This time we were asked to go clockwise. That's the same though. If you want to be consistent and always go counterclockwise, that's the same as going 270 counterclockwise. 90 clockwise and 270 counterclockwise are the same thing. Same idea here. 270 clockwise is the same as how many counterclockwise? 90. So if you want to, you could think of it always as counterclockwise, or technically you could think of it always as clockwise. But since we tend to default to counterclockwise, I would probably advise thinking of it in that respect before I would for clockwise. All right, so number 4, T is at -2, -5, right here. And I'm rotating it 90 degrees clockwise. So clockwise means this way. So I'm going to go that way. Excuse me, about the point 1, 1. Here's the point 1, 1. So I need to think about where it is now with respect to 1, 1. Well, it's 1, 2, 3 to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. 3 left and 6 down. So that 3 left and 6 down, giant L shape, if I'm rotating 90 degrees this way, the left is going to be, here's left, left turns into up. So this 3 to the left is going to actually become 3 up. This part was down 6. Down, if we go from down 90 degrees clockwise, we're at left. So this is going to be left 6. And there we have our little shape with the rotated L. And our L there is just really just the horizontal and vertical components, okay, of distance away from the center. So this is at, what, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. -5, 4. And that's where T ends up. And again, if you want to do it with the words, it's 3 left, then 5 down. And you have to figure out what happens to left when we rotate 90 degrees clockwise. That becomes up. What happens to down when we rotate 90 degrees clockwise? That becomes left. All right, last but not least, number 5, 270 clockwise from point -1,6. So the point -1,6 is right, let's see, here. And we are rotating about the center 1, -1. So here's my center. So from this center to point V, which is -1,6, I'm going 2 to the left and 7 up to get there. Okay, 2 left and 7 up. Heads up, 7 up. All right, now I'm going to rotate 270 degrees clockwise. I'm going to use the wrong size L, but just kind of picture this. 270 clockwise means my L turns like this at 90. It turns like this at 180. It's going to turn like this for 270. So we're going to go down first and then out to the left instead of left first and then up. So down 2 and left 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And V prime will be at -6, -3, I think. Yeah, see, I told you I might mess one up. Looks like I got something wrong there. I said -6, -1. This is at, you know what I think I might have done around the origin? I don't know what I did. I think I did a combo of around the origin and around that point. So this is at -6, -3 is where this actually ends up. So that 2 to the left and 7 up, when we're going, here's left, 270 from left, clockwise is up, right, down. That's 3/4 of a turn. So the 2 to the left becomes 2 down. And the 7 up, 1, 2, 3/4 of a turn becomes left. So 2 down, 7 to the left, and this is the correct answer for number 5. I'm glad I made those of you who are going to just skip actually watch something, because you had to make sure that I really did it right. Let's see if anybody comes in tomorrow and says, oh, the key was wrong, without watching all the way to the end, or skipping to the end, skipping to the one you thought was wrong and looking at it. So hopefully this has helped a little bit, and we'll do a little bit more practice tomorrow on that.